Hola, welcome to the International Eranos Ching Association. Today in this video we're going to talk about time, about the notion of time in ancient Chinese thought, and especially the notion of time in the I Ching. The time in the I Ching is summarized by this diagram called the universal compass, which shows the superposition of various cycles in time, which define the nature of each moment. The Chinese notion of time is quite different from our Western notion, which kind of stretches time down along a line, in which each moment is a point on the line, and all points are essentially equivalent. Not so for the Chinese. For the Chinese, time is circular. It's the repetition of eternal cycles, essentially the cycle of day and night, the cycle of the season, and more subtle cycles that Chinese conceived. The key, the fundamental one is probably the cycle of light and darkness, of day and night, and for the Chinese of Yin and Yang. Yin is dark, corresponds to darkness, moon, water, moist, soft, matter. Yang is light, sun, fire, dry, hard, energy. Yin is feminine and Yang is masculine. Yin is form and Yang is energy. And these two energies are constantly transforming into each other. And that's shown in a diagram called the Tai Chi. These two energies are animated of emotion in clockwise sense, in which when, let's say, the light energy, the yang energy, reaches its peak, that's where the dot, the black dot, the seed of the yin energy starts coming in. And as the yin energy culminates, the seed of the yang energy starts developing, so that noon is the time when the sun is starting to set, and midnight is the time when the light is coming back. So this is a correspondence also in the cycle of the year, in the sequence of the seasons. Another fundamental cycle for the Chinese is the cycle of the 5 transformative phases, sometimes called elements, but they're not concrete elements, they're just patterns, forms. In Chinese thought, the balance of these fundamental energy is fundamental. It's fundamental, for example, in Chinese medicine, when they're all balanced in the various organs, then we're healthy. When this balance is broken, then illness comes in. These 5 transformative phases are connected in various cycles, one being the generative cycle, the cycle by which they give birth to each other, and another one is the controlling or overcoming cycle, in which, for example, water controls fire because it puts it out, fire controls metal because it melts it, and so on. How are these fundamental cycles connected with the I Ching? And in particular with the Eranos I Ching. They're connected through the Trigrams, which are like 8 fundamental energy patterns in nature. And they're composed of 3 whole or broken lines. The whole lines are yang and the broken lines are yin, so there are 8 three-ways combinations of yin and yang. Their cycle corresponds to the cycle of day and night, of the season, of the 4 directions in space. And one peculiar feature of this diagram is that Earth has a special place. The problem that the Confucian scholars who devised this system had to solve is how to combine a cycle of 5 transformative phases with the cycles base 2 of yin and yang, day and night, and the seasons. The solution they adopted is that they put the Earth in this horizontal diameter, which is called the axis of equilibrations, as the point where yin and yang are in balance. The top side of this diagram is yang, the bottom side is yin. So whenever you consult the Ching and get one of these trigrams as your inner trigram and another one or the same as your outer trigram, referring to this diagram adds many further dimensions to your reading, because each trigram is associated to a time of the year, a direction in space, a time of the day, an element or transformative phase, and all the properties of these. The combination of all these cycles generates the quality of each moment of time. Because for the Chinese, time is organic. Time is qualitatively different. And moments in time are not just points on a line, but they are like specific patterns of interaction, which is the key element of divination. Why should our manipulating a bunch of 50 yarrow stalks or tossing 3 coins, what does it have to do with our situation and with our question? It does for the Chinese, because all that happens at one moment in time has the quality of that moment in time. So it reflects that moment in time. By reading this, what appears to be an insignificant detail, how the 50 yarrow stalks get parted, when we connected it to this cyclical understanding and understand it as quality of a moment in time, that reflects also on our question and on the situation we're asking about. They're all part of that moment in time. That will be enough for today, and we're looking forward to seeing you and being with you again sometime soon about some other feature of the Eranos I Ching.